Hey everybody, it's Charlie Craven with Charlie's Flybox, and the other day my son and I went down to the South Platte in anticipation of getting some good dry fly fishing. And when we got there, they changed the flow, and the water got muddy and had pine cones and sticks and branches and all kinds of crap in it. And kind of going back through my memory Rolodex, I know that a salmon worm works awfully good when that water gets muddy and the flow comes up a little bit. So I dug down in my boat box and found my box of worms that I haven't pulled out in a long, long time, and came across a fly that I started tying back in the 90s, I think. That is just let's say, a new twist on a salmon worm. See what I did there? A new twist, called a twist and shout worm. This is just a variation of a San Juan that's got a little twist in it that makes it look a little bit more wiggly, and maybe more importantly, not exactly like what everybody else is fishing. So I'm going to show you how to tie it. I had sent a picture of that fly to Max, and he was all excited about it and insisted that I do a video on this. It's very simple. If I just showed the finished fly, you'd know how to do it, but then we'd have no suspense. So I'm going to just keep you locked in here while I tie this thing. It's going to take maybe 2 minutes. So I've got a Tiemco 3761 size 14 in my vise, which is what I like to tie my worms on. And I've got some 14-aught Magpie materials. This is not 14-aught. This is Magpie materials, 72 denier in brown. Rusty brown 8-aught or 6-aught uni works well here also. Just depends on what color worm you're tying. But anyway, I'm using brown. So I'm going to start this thread just behind the eye, and I'm going to dress the hook all the way back to the bend. I just want to make a nice smooth even thread base all the way back to where the thread's hanging right along the barb there. Then I'm going to take a piece of ultra chenille, and I like to burn the end, so I'm going to singe that and kind of taper it a little bit as I go, like so. And I like the long end to be on the back, so I'm going to kind of lay that on like so, kind of give you an idea of how this is going to line up, maybe like so. And I'm going to bind this down at the bend with, half dozen or so turns of thread, right there on top of the hook bend. Then I'm going to lift that front end up. I'm going to spiral my thread back forward again. Just tight touching turns, make a nice smooth even thread base there. And this is where the twist comes in. So I'm going to take this piece of chenille and I'm going to wrap it just about a half a turn around the hook and then anchor it down again on top of the shank up here behind the eye. And I usually make a little bit bigger segment here at the front end, like so. You can see we've got our little worm with the corkscrew in the middle. I'm not sure that it makes a huge difference, but when everybody else is throwing worms also, having something that's a little different doesn't hurt. So that's it. You can see just kind of a loose coil there. Give them a little twisty. You put a little head cement on there. I do like to head cement my worms just because I don't want them to come apart. They're quick and easy to tie, but they should also hold together. So I hit both those tie downs with a little shot of cement. Lock that up, and that is the twist and shout worm. I'm sure somebody else has had that idea cross their mind as well, but that's the one, just a little curly in the middle. That is the fly that Max was so excited about. Max is attracted to dirty little worm things like that, I guess, which says a lot about him. Oh, look how good that looks. You can kind of curl these ends up too if you want. When this stuff gets wet, it gets really soft. So it actually is pretty wormy. And I did have a fish just absolutely crush it the other day with a great visual take in that mud, about 4 inches under the surface. So it was close to a dry fly eat. I mean, that counts, right? Doesn't it? Oh, mind your own business. Thanks for watching, you guys. Take care.